Hey, YouTube. Well, I should say good evening, Saints. Listen, apparently there's been a recent rash of these Christian pastors shutting people down on YouTube. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So now they didn't come after Larry Reed. Last week it was Jives, King Jives. So basically, these preachers want to keep their secrets buried. Now, people like me, gay people, different people, people who don't believe the Bible the way they do. Of course, we are always excited when they fail and they fall, when they're exposed. Why wouldn't we be happy about that? Years and years and years of abuse, of being beaten from the pulpit, always made to feel like you got horns under your hat or something. You are the ones destined for hell. No matter how good a person you are, no matter how many good works you do on the earth, you always the one that's evil and going to hell. Now, you've been doing that for years and years and years, right? So, of course, we're going to cheer. That's just natural. If you expect anything less from people like me, you're a damn fool. I'll just say that. You're a straight idiot. This is the problem I had with Kim Burrell. She would go up there and she says all these horrendous things about people like me, and then you expect to be treated with the utmost respect, like you're some kind of different level of person than I am. So I have zero respect for it. And it all comes down to respect. How much do I respect you? Anyway, so this thing. So apparently now Larry Reed has been confirmed with his cease and desist. I guess I can speak on it. That's not really my thing. I'm not that interested in what these preachers do. I know they're not holy people. But when their sins are revealed, they choose to shut them down, the information. See, this internet can be used for good and evil. It's up to you to define which one it is. The good or evil. It depends on where you stand. Recently, many of these preachers have been exposed because of the internet. Their past sins, and not only in their past sins, because you say, well, somebody got a baby out of wedlock. The first time they had sex, they didn't have a baby. That just means they have sex outside of the marriage, period. If they are careless enough to actually produce children, that's a different subject. The main thing is that they're having sex with other people. So now we get to see, okay, all the people have been barking and bitching about everyone else's sins as defined by the book you worship. And we're starting to see you ain't clean either. You ain't clean. Hell. You sitting up here having sex with other people in your church. You're having sex with married women. You're going on these conferences and having God knows how many relationships. And if you're fortunate, if you're lucky, nobody gets pregnant. So now that people are finding out about some of these pregnancies, these other children. No, they're not bastard children. I don't like that word. I would technically be considered a bastard child myself. So let me speak to you. Trying to gather my thoughts. So these people are exposed now, and they choose to shut people down. Don't deal with the truth. Oh, I deal with the truth in private. No, don't deal with the truth in private. Everyone else's life is not in private. You give all your advice. It's not in private. It's for the whole world, right? You damn everybody else to hell. You're constantly up there bitching and barking about how wonderful you is and how you holy and sanctified and glorified and everything else. And then we find out that, oh, when you leave the church, you're not going home first. You might end up at home, but you got several other things going on. A lot of these women married to these pastors and preachers and stuff, they know what's going on. You know when you done married a whore. You know what your arguments are about. What goes on in your house. You know that. These women, they choose the position of First Lady over telling the truth. So, No, I don't think it's fair to be shutting these guys down if they're just telling the truth. I think it's what's important is that for you not to be a hypocrite, because that's what you are. You criticize somebody else for their sexual activity, right? Or for essentially not even sex. I don't have sex. For the essence of who they are. You've been getting away with it for decades, hundreds of years maybe. You've been getting away with doing that, and all that time, you don't live by it yourself. Your congregation want to keep it quiet, I guess, because they feel like uh, it'll hurt the church to know that their pastor is not who he says he is. Ain't nobody holy, honey. I don't believe in these people, these anointed people who have this high standard are any better than anybody else. Your position may be better than anybody else's, and I'm sure your cover up for the things that you do is superior to other people because you've made all this money off their backs. So you can hide what you do. If the smart ones, I'd say the smart ones, the smart preachers who want to whore around, they have enough sense to go on the conferences and do it in places where the people don't know them. And I believe it's why a lot of them don't want to be on television and so forth. They don't want the whole country knowing their face. They only want to go so high to where they're getting the money, but they don't want everybody to be in their business because they have a lot to hide. Tell the truth. Whether you're an adulterer with boys or girls, you're still an adulterer. Anyway, I just made this thing because I just think it's wrong. These guys get away with whatever they want to do. You people keep giving them all your money, making them these rock stars, these superstars. And I know, in my heart, I know they're no better than me. They ain't no better than nobody else. They ain't no better. They get better at hiding what they do. So anyway, this is the second or third time this week that I've heard about these people being presented with cease and desist, or people are notifying them, telling them to take videos down, or people are notifying them and telling them, what did he tell the other guy? Anyway, don't talk about me. Why not? You talk about everybody else. A time is coming when people are going to realize that you get what you give. If you don't respect me, I do not have to respect you. I don't respect you because I know you're a liar and a hypocrite. Hypocrisy. That is the main offense of these church people. That is what people hate. That is what makes people hate you. Because we know you're liars. A lot of us have already slept with you. We know it. It ain't something we think about. Some of these guys who have been accused of all of these affairs and all of these babies and things like that, they seem to be decent people. The point is, they're just people. Time to get your foot off of other people's backs, off all other people's necks, and just realize that you're no better than nobody else. You're just people. And you are subject to mess up. This internet thing makes it where people can, frankly, I don't think CNN, MSNBC, CBS, they're that interested in what you do. But the internet, see, it could be used for good or evil. Depends on how you define what good or evil is, how it applies to your life. This is something you're going to have to deal with, but you're not going to be able to shut everybody up. I'll tell you that right now. Just the idea that people are being shut down or people are being shut up, it makes some people curious, more curious. It makes some women who's had babies with you guys say, I wonder if I can get a coin. I wonder if I can get something more than this $400 he's sending me a month. It's the internet. Information. Shut everybody down. Listen, they're revealing what you did. Either you did it or you didn't do it. Now, if you are fearful that you're going to lose your church, people are going to fire you and all that, then you go in front of your congregation and admit your sin. Admit what you do. Admit that you're not a perfect person, although anybody with any sense already know you're not a perfect person. But admit that and get off other people. So all they can do, they're people as well. Anyway, just my thoughts on this thing. So, look, apparently it's like it's going to be a big story brewing here with these preacher people and their hypocrisy. Don't they realize that when you try to shut these people down, it's going to make it worse? It's going to make more people curious about what else is being hidden. We already constantly finding out about your adultery. We know that. We already finding out about your thievery. We know that you're tax cheats. It has to come out. It has to come out. That you know what? Them people ain't shit either. No, not a mistake. Not a mistake in my grammar. That's how my mind works. Them people ain't shit either. Nobody, I'm not saying you're better, I'm not better than you or you're better than me. I'm just saying either. Hypocrisy, the greatest offense of the American church, in my opinion.